Hello, so I'm Oliver Ellis from Hoho Entertainment.
I'm Helen Howells.
Obviously. And we've come today to talk to you just a little case study about cloud babies and how we've evolved the show from something that's started as a linear property, and it still is in in territories, and that's still a very important part of the mix, but how it's evolved onto success on digital platforms as well. So I'm just going to show you the opening titles for all of the episodes, really, which we used as a trailer initially. So it'll just give you a sense of what it's about. There we go, thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the creative and how the show came to be, and then Helen's going to give it a bit of a chat about how it's evolved in terms of its life on different platforms afterwards. So the origin of the show, it was created by someone called Bridget Appleby, who I worked with at Cosgrove Hall Films many years ago. She was the art director there and won a BAFTA for The Reluctant Dragon, was nominated for numerous enough awards, and she's a lovely, lovely person, very creative to work with. And at Hoho, we always try and keep the creator at the centre of all of the artistic endeavour, and Bridget was certainly that. Cloud Babies, it's a CG show. It was 52 times 10 minutes, and we launched it on CBeebies in the UK, which is their preschool channel, in 2012. And since then, as we've sold it, and we do all our distribution and rights management ourselves, we've sold it to over 100 territories around the world. Essentially, it's a series about 4 toddlers, Bubba Pink, Bubba Yellow, Bubba Green, and Bubba Blue, and the central idea is they look after the sky. They keep things looking like young children would expect things to be in the sky. And they live on a big fluffy cloud called the Sky Cloud, with a mischievous little sky imp called Bobo White, who they've adopted. It's not a cloud baby itself, but they look after it. That's how they looked originally, just as and obviously we evolved them from that and added Bubba Yellow as a 4th member of the quartet. And there's one of Bridget's original illustrations for one of the episodes called Fly Away Home. It was originally called Sky Babies when we first started, and in fact that's how we pitched it at Cartoon Forum many years ago, at which point the BBC picked it up. We had to change the title because Sky Broadcasting own the trademark for the word sky in every product category around the world. At the time I was going to fight it, and we had a very good lawyer who told us, don't bother, Oliver, they've got more money and more muscles and more time than you. So we changed it to Cloud Babies, and actually everyone loved the new title after that. Bridget's inspiration for this was inspired by characters that preschoolers see in picture books, which are either read to them or they read themselves from a very early age. Characters such as sun, moon, star, cloud, and rainbow. These are seen, as you can see, this is just a random sort of set of illustrations, but one of the first things that children actually draw themselves is the sun in their own picture. So we're starting off with images that they're already familiar with. And Bridget wanted to create a new mythology for young children. She wanted to have an answer ready for young children who may ask their parents or carers who looks after the sky, and that ready answer to be, well, of course, the cloud babies do. And that's in a similar way to who puts the frost on the windows. That's Jack Frost. Who puts presents under the tree? Well, that's Santa or Father Christmas or St. Nicholas, depending on where you come from. So the answer to the question, who looks after the sky, should automatically be, of course, it's the cloud babies. And it's a very whimsical approach to how things are in the sky. It's one of Bridget's qualities, is this very sort of charm and whimsy that she brings to her projects. And this is, shows you an early illustration, and again, how it was subsequently realized. This is an example of how the stars get into the sky. So Rainbow turns himself upside down as a sort of catapult. He's a star slinger, and the cloud babies pick the stars off the star tree, put it into this basket, and fling them into the sky. And that is obviously how the stars end up in the sky. And just an example, I'm going to give you a couple of little clips. So the first one is from an episode called Has Anyone Seen Sun?, which is basically an eclipse story, which is wrapped around a hide-and-seek narrative.
Is Sun still playing hide-and-seek?
Yes, Baba Yellow. Do you think you can find him?
Of course we can! Coming, Sun! Ready or not? Moon, but we just can't find him. We give up.
You all give up?
Shh, did you hear that?
Ta-da!
It's Sun!
Did you like my hiding place?
There you go. And, we actually never mentioned the word eclipse in that episode at all. But it's obviously to show children what that phenomenon is all about. And then similarly with full moon is an episode where we explain how a moon goes from crescent to full. And we'll show you a clip on that. But the background is that the sky cloud has been subject to a meteor shower of moon rock, which happens to be Moon's favourite treat.
Better already.
Wow, Moon, you really were hungry.
Oh, that's better. Just one last piece should fill me up.
There's none left. Rock! Bobo, here! Rock!
Thank you, Bobo dear.
Hooray! Full moon!
And that's how the moon becomes full. Thank you. So you get the idea. So the brand values of the show is very much about caring for others and the world around you. We hired a educational consultant called Christina Ricci, who'd worked on many Nickelodeon shows, Dora included, and she identified 3 concentric rings of caring in a child's development. The first one is when a child is born as a baby. They're very selfish ultimately. They care about their needs, their immediate needs of eating, pooping, sleeping, and well, that's it really. So they're not really aware of others' needs, and then as they grow older, they become aware of other people and other beings around them, and become more sensitive and caring about them. And then the third concentric ring is about becoming aware of the environment around them, and of course that ties very much into the whole idea of cloud babies, about who looks after the sky, which is a sort of a general environmental message. As we can see, caring for the world around us. So here's an image. One of the things that they do in a lot of the episodes, Baba Pink will get Sun up in the morning and polish him to make him look all shiny so he can go throughout the day. And at the end of the day, they put him to bed, and then they dust Moon and get Moon up. And so it's very much based around a routine for kids, which they'll be familiar with. And again, that's one of the key brand values of the show. And of course, in doing so, we're introducing children to these notions of day, night, sun, moon, rainbow and stars. Which leads us all the way back to that question about who looks after the sky, and of course, the cloud babies do. So that's kind of the creative bit. Helen's going to talk about how we moved from an initial, very successful BBC platform to life after linear.
Who looks after the sky? The cloud babies do, but who looks after the cloud babies? We do. And we've been doing it for a very long time now. As Oliver said, the show was originally commissioned by CBeebies, and we have subsequently sold it to a number of international broadcasters, just a selection of some of those broadcasters, but territory-wise, over 100 territories sold. It took us more than 7 years. It feels like a lifetime. It is a lifetime. A lot of hard work, a lot of graft, trying to raise the money, trying to bring in broadcasters. And it's a huge investment of time and energy, and a lot of banging on doors as well. So for us, one of the real disappointments for us was when our linear broadcaster in the UK really came to an end. We didn't have a recommission of the series, which had been part of our overall big plan, and we were very disappointed, naturally. So one of the things that we had to do was think about how we could keep going. We're a small independent company, and to use a very British phrase, we weren't about to throw our babies out with the bathwater. So we had to rethink our strategy, we had to get smart, we had to do things differently. And really, if we had any chance of keeping our brand alive, we had to do it differently. So we very much turned our attention to YouTube. We'd started working quite tentatively with YouTube back in 2014, initially on a bit of content ID, and also looking to see how we could use that platform as a means of promoting the show. Not broadcasting episodes, but just promoting the show. And at that point, we really had to bite the bullet and decide, what we were going to do. So we did, and with our partner Little Dot, we launched the official Cloud Babies channel, and we've never looked back. Is what's happened since then. We were also really fortunate at the time, because when we were launching our channel, YouTube was launching the new YouTube Kids app in the US as well. And so the timing was perfect, the stars aligned, we got a lot of great promotion on the new app, and it's just grown from there. So little image of how it looks. As I said, Little Dot are our partners. They help us to curate a lot of the content and keep things fresh for our audiences. It's been very exciting for us over the last 18 months to see how the channel has been growing. It's all been done organically. We are a small company. We don't have huge budgets. So everything we do, we have to do organically. And it's taken us 4 years. But in 2018, the channel generated 44.4 million views. And we saw a 29% year-on-year increase from 2017. This year alone, this quarter alone, we're already at 18.8 million views, which is 40% of our total from last year. So that's a huge achievement for us. We have over 116,000 subscribers. That's unique subscribers, not views, and almost 123 million views to date. The biggest news for us, which is really exciting, is that our viewership has very recently flipped over, where a large chunk of our viewers was coming from the UK market. We're now seeing about 57% of our total global viewing coming from the US. And along with that, we're also seeing a lot more engagement on our social network. So a lot of people writing in from the States asking for more episodes, asking us when are we going to do certain things, when are we going to launch new toys, etc. If we had a lot more money, we would do that tomorrow. But it'll take time. Last year was particularly momentous for us. We reached our first big milestone, I mentioned it earlier on, 100,000 subscribers, and we were awarded a coveted YouTube Silver Button Award. 100,000 subscribers, when you compare that to some of the really, really big entertainment companies, doesn't seem like much. But given that we've done it all ourselves and done it organically, I think that is actually not too bad for a small independent company. One of the things that we really love in working with our partners at YouTube is the ability to chop and change, to curate our content any which way we like, and also to try things out, see what works. If it doesn't work, we can take it down, we can do something else. A good example of this was we tried to do some character best bits. So we created the best bits of all the characters, whether it was Baba Blue or Sun or Moon. And you never know how people are going to react to these things. But for us, it was very interesting to see that Baba Pink's best bits has had the most views. It's amassed over 50 million views on this set of clips alone. And interestingly, the same compilation is doing well in other territories and in other languages. As we are here in Germany, it's only right that I speak about our German partners and our German Volkenkinder, as it's known here. So in Germany, we partnered with Kika. They acquired the series and launched the series back in May 2015. It performed exceptionally well for them. And since then, we've also set up a German Volkenkinder YouTube channel. I say we because it is Hoho that set up that channel with our partners, and it is all in German. And the reason that we've done this is in order to help promote the series on Kika. So while Kika will still air all of the episodes in their full form, what we're doing is just taking part of the curated bits that we do and putting them on the YouTube channel to really drive our audience back to the linear channel. So this is not about us saying that linear isn't alive anymore. It's not that at all. It's about how we can work the two together. And this is a perfect example for us where we do have linear and online and digital working very harmoniously together. Further afield, we've also premiered the series on YouTube in Russia with X Media Digital, the same people that launched Masha and the Bear. And in Vietnam last year, we launched Cloud Babies along with a few other projects in Vietnamese language directly onto YouTube Kids through their Pops children's channel. So lots going on there. Little picture of our Volkenkinder. I don't know whether I pronounced that correctly. I think so. So the thing for us is, what's next? Where do we really go from here? And it's fairly simple. Our mission at Hoho is to build this into a global brand. We won't be defeated. We're not going to give up. We've put too much time and effort and money into it, so we need to keep going. So part of that strategy is continuing to work with the broadcast partners that we have, building more awareness in pre-existing markets, so Germany, Australia, the UK, for example. I guess in a way we're fortunate because the turnover of preschoolers is fairly quick. Preschoolers are turning over every 2 to 3 years. That allows us to have a brand new audience and a brand new Cloud Babies audience every 2 to 3 years as well. A large part of our international growth, of course, is YouTube because of what we're doing there. But it's also leading us to work with some really inspirational and like-minded partners. And I'm going to give you an example of that. And this really, as well, is so interesting because it draws back to that power of social media. So in the summer of last year, we did an interview with Kidscreen talking about Cloud Babies, mostly talking about, the silver button and, how we'd been sort of working with Little Dot. And I just put it onto my LinkedIn page, just as you do, bit of news, let's put it on there. And out of that, we were contacted by a production company in Turkey. We'd never done anything in Turkey at all. It was just one of the territories we just couldn't get through. And it turns out that this production company, Fauna Productions, is actually the leading children's entertainment company in Turkey. They had created their own brand called Kukuli, which they launched on YouTube originally. That brand is now the biggest kids brand in Turkey. It plays across multiple platforms, including linear TV. They have live shows, and they have about 400 unique product lines of merchandise. And So the chief exec contacted me via LinkedIn and said, "We love your show. We love what you're doing. We're very like-minded people. We would love to work with you on Cloud Babies in Turkey." So that's an example of an all rights deal where we're working with this company, and I've just heard this morning that they've just finished the dubs, and they're starting to roll out the series in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it's very exciting for us. It's also coming at a very exciting time in that particular region as well, in the MENA region. I was reading something in digital TV research the other day, which was saying that subscriptions in the MENA region for VOD are set to quadruple in 2023, and about a third of those are going to come from Turkey. So, fingers crossed, we'll see a bit of that success as well. What else are we doing? We're looking to invest in dubs. So, we are investing and starting to look at doing new dubs for new territories where we've not launched before. One such example, and the first one we're starting with, is we are doing a neutral Hispanic dub, which has been done in Colombia. And the idea there is that we will launch a brand new Hispanic Cloud Babies channel in Latin America and US as well. So it'll sit alongside the English channel in the US. What else? And as well as YouTube, we're also working with a lot of VOD partners who really do share our love for the series. One such partner is Hopster. I think Ellen may be here from Hopster today. I'm not quite sure. She is. There she is. So, Hopster really have embraced the brand with us, and they're now extending that offering beyond just episodes. We're working on some ebooks as well, and it's really exciting to see how Hopster's expanding their reach internationally as well, which obviously for us helps us with our international reach. We're making waves in China, a very, very difficult market to enter, but we've made a start. We've been doing work there for the last 18 months, and mostly with online platforms, because that's really where a lot of the business is. We're on Tencent and iQIYI, two of the largest VOD platforms, and very soon to launch on Alibaba-owned Youku as well. And then off-screen, our strategy is still to continue building awareness in territories that we haven't been before. We're still doing brand new linear deals. I think that's really important. It is a case of being able to work across all of the platforms together. We're also looking to invest in experiential events, continue social media, so our own social media network with our Facebook page and Twitter, and then to start growing a presence through consumer products again as well. And we're in discussion for a second series, which is really exciting. So lots going on. I think the really key thing is, for us, we never lost faith in what we set out to do. We produced a very, very high quality series. And I really hope that what we've done will provide inspiration for other producers as well. You need a little bit of self-belief. You need to trust in the quality and the creative of your content. Yes, you need to graft. You have to put a lot of hard work in it, and you do need a bit of creative thinking. We talk about thinking outside the box. I mean, we're constantly thinking outside the box, and we have our own motto at Hoho. We call it the 3 Ps: passion, patience, but most of all, persistence. So, you see, every cloud does have a silver lining.